Hello everyone. In this video, I want to go through some easy ways to decrypt HTTPS encrypted traffic. I will show you two methods that I am using to decrypt malicious web traffic when dynamically analyzing a piece of malware. There is nothing really groundbreaking on what I will be explaining in this video, but it is a quick and easy way to get the job done. I thought this would be helpful to make a video, as some analysts might not be aware of these methods or how to use them. The first method is by using Burp as a proxy, and the other is by using a session key login to decrypt captured traffic in Wireshark. I prefer to use the first method, which is the Burp method, as it is 100% guaranteed that it will work with all applications, and as opposed to the session key login, where it will only decrypt browser type of web traffic. Both of these methods that I will show you are very easy to implement, and you shouldn't have any issues if you follow along with me in this video. Having said that, let's start with the first method, which is the session key login approach to decrypt TLS traffic in Wireshark. Here I am at my isolated virtual box where I will be making the changes. Both Firefox and Chrome can take advantage of the session key logging approach, as they support logging the symmetric session key used to encrypt TLS traffic into a file. You can then point Wireshark to that file, and Wireshark will present the decrypted traffic of that session. First we need to set an environmental variable. We can do that by going into the computer properties and then click into advanced system settings, and then from there environmental variables. As you can see here, I have already added the variable, which is the SSL key log file. This is how the variable needs to be named, and point it to the location that you want the log file to be located at. The log file will be the output of all the session keys, which you will then point that file to Wireshark. But before we do that, I want to show you how the file is populated with the session keys. So what you will have to do is open the browser, and as you can see, the file that we have created is populated with the session keys. So let's start capturing traffic with Wireshark. As you will see, Wireshark is not able to decrypt HTTPS encrypted traffic. So what we will have to do is point that file, the ssl-key.log file, to Wireshark. So Wireshark will be able to read the session keys and decrypt the traffic. In order to do that, you will have to go to Edit, Preferences, and Protocols, and then scroll down until you find the word TLS, and import the output file that contains the session keys. Straight away, then you notice that you can see the traffic that generated before, the encrypted traffic, but now you will be able to right-click on one of the responses on the captured traffic and follow the HTTP stream, and you will be able to find all requests and responses that previously were encrypted. Again, to further demonstrate that, I will just visit amazon.ca, and as you can see, the traffic shows like expected, the decrypted file, and you will be able to see all the requests and responses without any issues. And you can see here all the session keys that exist into the output file. So that was method number one. This method will only decrypt browser type of traffic. I have not figured out a similar way to decrypt traffic on Wireshark that has that was generated by command line tools in Windows, for example. If you know how, and there's a way that I haven't figured it out yet, just please let me know in the comments below. The next method is what I prefer to use the most, and that is by using Burp as a proxy. You can download the community edition of Burp from the link that I will have on the description below. Using Burp as a proxy, we will redirect generated traffic from the virtual machine that we will be running the malware on towards the host and port that is running Burp. You may choose to run Burp on either the local host or a remote host in the same network. Just make sure that if you choose to redirect traffic to a different host that is running Burp, you're allowing the network communication as so the virtual machine can talk to the remote host. So I have the Burp Community Edition installed on my main host, not on the virtual machine. Um, I run it on my main host because sometimes I have found that certain malware are inspecting the running processes of the host and exiting if it finds processes that are commonly used for static or dynamic malware analysis, such as Process Explorer or Procmon or even Burp in that case. So first, what we need to do is configure Burp to listen to the IP and port of our choice. It is already listening by default on port 8080, and you can leave it at that if you want to by just changing the listening port as necessary. In this example, I have bind Burp on port 443, and I am using my IP, the IP of my local machine, which I am running Burp on. Then press OK and make sure that the inspect is on, so Burp will be able to inspect all traffic being generated. And the second thing that you will have to do is you have to set up the proxy for the virtual machine and the port that Burp is listening to. To do that, you can quickly press the Windows Start button key and type proxy settings. Press enter, and under manual proxy setup, you will have to enter the proxy address and port that Burp is listening to, and then press save. Going back to Burp, you can just switch the interceptor to on, and I will go through a couple of examples here to show you how the traffic is being redirected to Burp. Once again, just an easy example. I'm just visiting eBay, and as you will be able to see here, the traffic is, we get an alert from Burp. You can see that the request that we received from the virtual machine, and we will be able to drop or forward the traffic. You can even send the request to the repeater for changing a couple of things before you forward it on, or testing a couple of things. Repeater is a very useful feature. Just read a little bit more about Burp to understand how it works. And I want to go through a second example where I will be running a malware. So let's see what will happen. This malware, straight away we see that this malware is trying to reach out to basebin.com, and this URI that we see over here, this is probably a base64 encoded payload that is trying to reach out from this basebin location. And as you can see, Burp straight away notifies you when traffic has been redirected to it. So we will not be missing any sort of traffic that is generated by the malware that we just ran. I have dropped the request, but I have captured the URL, and I want to see go to the browser and visit this basebin directory. And as you can see, here is the base64 encoded payload. This is the raw page, as well as you can see the main page of this directory. This is very helpful, as you will have the ability to see the full path of the HTTPS traffic and modify the request in line if you choose to do so. You can see the HTTP headers that are used, and in many cases, as with this example, you will find the malicious file that you are analyzing is trying to download further payloads, which you will be able to capture. This can help you generate additional leads and expand your knowledge on the subject you're analyzing. This is all I want to show you. I hope you found these two methods of decrypting traffic for dynamic malware analysis purposes useful. And if I have missed something, please let me know in the comments below, and I will be very happy to discuss with you other methods that you may want to propose, or I would be very interesting to see how you go about decrypting HTTPS traffic for your analysis. Thank you very much.